What would you do if your child's dreams were stolen, not by injury or lack of talent, but by prejudice? Imagine your son, the best player on his basketball team, suddenly sidelined, not because he couldn't play, but because a coach couldn't stand the color of his skin. And then imagine the moment when that coach's arrogance crashes down and the truth shines through for everyone to see. Welcome to Voices Unchained. Make sure you like this video and drop your location in the comments. At just 13 years old, Jamal Williams was already a name whispered in the crowded halls of Hilltop High School. Hilltop wasn't just any school. It was a fortress of privilege, gleaming marble floors, freshly painted lockers, and classrooms filled with students whose families could afford the luxury of elite private education. For most kids, it was a dream school. For Jamal, it was a battlefield. He was one of the few black students in a sea of white faces. But Jamal carried himself with quiet strength. He wasn't there to make noise. He was there to learn, to grow, and to play the game he loved more than anything: basketball. And Jamal wasn't just good, he was extraordinary. Fast, sharp, disciplined. The kind of player who could turn the tide of a game with a single drive to the hoop. His teammates noticed it. The fans noticed it. Even the rival schools were talking about him. But not everyone was clapping. Standing on the sidelines with a whistle around his neck and bitterness in his eyes was Coach Tim. To the parents and staff, he was a dedicated coach with years of experience. To the players, he was tough, demanding, and sometimes cruel. But behind closed doors, there was something darker. Coach Tim hated the spotlight shifting to Jamal. A freshman? A black kid? Outshining my boys? He muttered to his assistant one night after practice, his voice low and bitter. It didn't matter to him that Jamal was respectful, hardworking, or team-focused. What mattered was that Jamal's success threatened the careful image Tim had built, an image of white players leading Hilltop's glory. So Coach Tim made a decision. If Jamal wanted to play, he'd make sure he never got the chance. It started small. One game, Jamal sat on the bench longer than usual, then another. Soon, he was barely seeing any court time at all. "Coach, why isn't Jamal playing?" a teammate whispered during halftime of a losing game. Tim snapped back, "Not your concern. Focus on yourselves." Game after game, Jamal watched from the bench as his team stumbled. His heart ached every time he saw a shot missed, a chance wasted. He knew he could help. Everyone knew. But the coach's eyes never met his. At home, Jamal grew quieter, his once bright smile dimmed. One night, he sat across from his father, Marcus Williams, and let the pain spill out. "Dad," Jamal said softly, his eyes wet, "he won't let me play. It's not fair. I work harder than anyone, but he just hates me." Marcus leaned forward, his jaw tight. "Hates you? Why would he hate you, son?" Jamal's voice cracked. "Because I'm black." The room went silent. Marcus stared at his boy, his chest heavy. He had built a life teaching Jamal that character mattered more than color. And now, here was his son, learning the world's cruel lesson too early. But Marcus Williams was no ordinary father. By day, he was a respected businessman. In the community, he was known for his integrity and success. And at Hilltop, his donations kept the school's programs thriving. The next morning, Marcus walked into Hilltop High. His presence turned heads in the hallway. He wasn't there for a meeting, he was there for justice. He asked to see the principal. When Principal Harris arrived, Marcus's voice was calm but firm. "My son is being benched," Marcus said, locking eyes with him. "Not because of talent, because of skin color. I will not tolerate my child being humiliated while this school looks the other way." The principal shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. Williams, are you certain of this?" "Ask the team," Marcus replied. "Ask the assistants. Everyone knows. They've seen it. And if this school wants to protect its reputation, it will deal with it today." The investigation began immediately. Players were pulled aside, asked what they'd seen. One by one, they told the same story. Jamal was the best player, but coach refused to play him. Some admitted coach made comments about keeping the team's image intact. Even the assistant coach, hesitant at first, eventually admitted, "Yeah, Tim didn't want Jamal leading the team. He said it wasn't the look he wanted. That was enough." The very next day, Coach Tim was summoned to the principal's office. Marcus sat there, arms folded, as Tim walked in. "Coach Tim," Principal Harris said, his tone sharp, "your services at Hilltop are no longer required. Effective immediately, you are terminated for conduct unbecoming of this institution." Tim's face flushed red. This is ridiculous. That boy. Enough. Harris cut him off. You let prejudice dictate your decisions and you embarrassed this school. You're finished here. As Tim stormed out, the halls whispered. Parents demanded answers. Word spread quickly. Within weeks, no school would hire him. His reputation was gone. And Jamal? The next game, when his name was called for the starting lineup, the gym erupted in cheers. His teammates slapped his back, grinning. Finally, their best player was where he belonged. Jamal played with fire in his eyes, not to prove Coach Tim wrong, but to prove himself right. He dominated the court, scoring, assisting, and lifting his team higher than ever. As the final buzzer rang and victory was theirs, Jamal looked up into the stands. His father was there, clapping with pride, a quiet smile on his face. That night, Marcus told his son, "Remember this, Jamal? They may try to bench you because of who you are, but no one can take away your gift. Keep shining." And Jamal did. The moral? Prejudice can delay destiny, but it cannot destroy it. Those who try to bury the light of others will always be left in the shadows themselves. So what do you think? Was Coach Tim's punishment enough? And what would you have done if this was your child? Share your thoughts below. We love reading your perspectives. And if you want more stories of justice, resilience, and truth, hit follow so you don't miss the next one.